Be right with you. Uh, oh boy. Oh, all right. Check, see if we got some sound in, and we do. So let's start this off the right way. Ladies, gentlemen, pronouns, lend me your ears. Crazy Kid back for another live stream. And as you can see up in this corner, right up in here, I got two things on the wall now. They finished the units for the air and heat in my unit. So now the construction work is over in my unit. It's still going on in all the other units, but hey, I got mine. And let me tell you, I feel like putting a McDonald's magnet on the side of that thing because I'm loving it. Ah, so let's pop the chat out. I was outside talking with a neighbor, and he was asking about the units and stuff like that. So that's why I'm running a little bit behind, but it's just a little bit. So, another piece of news is I have started up a Patreon page, and if you notice the ticker on the scrolling across the bottom of the screen, that's the Patreon page that I have. So if anybody is looking for more content, want to help support the channel, that's the Patreon page that I have. Right now, I just have a welcome video. With my YouTube money that I earned this month, I went out and I purchased, or I ordered, a action camera and accessory kit to do outdoorsy stuff, outdoorsy recording. So, hey, good morning, Kieran. How are you doing? Top of the morning to you. So yeah, I broke down and I put up the Patreon page. So if anybody that's something you're into, more than welcome to check it out and whatnot. Like I said, with my YouTube money that I received this time, I purchased or ordered an action camera and a accessory kit with a tripod and a selfie stick and the vest clip and the hat clip and stuff like that. So this way here, I can go do some outdoorsy recording and record those videos and make content on that Patreon page. So just do some. I much appreciate that. You'll notice in upcoming videos, when we get to the videos that I started promoting it, there'll be a link at the bottom of the page and in the description box. I didn't put the link in the description box, but you can copy and paste this. That's the Patreon page that I have. Like I said, I just got one piece of content on there. It's just a welcome video. I was talking with another creator that has a Patreon page, and she was telling me to open up another YouTube account to put the content on it unlisted. So this way here, it doesn't muddle up my content list on this channel. And I was like, good idea. So I like having friends on YouTube. But yeah, um, they got the air units in my apartment. One in the living room, one in the bedroom, and let me tell you, oh, is it ever comfortable? Even when the air conditioning's on. Like I had the air conditioning on the other day. It was like 85 degrees outside. And I was like, oh, it's getting too hot up here. So I put the air on. Man, it cooled this place off like that. Like it was nuts. Like I was like, then I was talking to the guys that were installing it because they were installing the one next door. And they were like, so how do you like your air unit? And I said, oh, dude, I want to put a McDonald's magnet on the side because I'm loving it. So, but yeah, I can't wait for this action camera to come in. It's waterproof up to 30 meters. Does 1080p uh, quality uh, video, and it's going to be kind of interesting. It's going to be a little bit to get used to. It's just a cheapy set, just something to play with, just something to get used to. And then if things happen where like I'm making more money or whatever like that, or I want to expand to another camera, I'll buy a better quality camera. So this is just something to test the waters out. See, get comfortable with it, kind of thing. Put it up on a tripod, maybe do a couple interviews out and about, and so on and so forth. Hey, sunflowers, how you doing, Christina? So yeah, I'm getting kind of excited about that. It's supposed to come in sometime this week. So I'm kind of excited about that. I'll probably end up putting an unboxing video on my Patreon page about it. Because it wasn't sponsored. They're not just giving it to me. I purchased it, and it cost me pretty much my entire YouTube money to get this camera. Oh yeah, I've been super busy too. Like today, we had to vote here in Canada. We got election day today, so I had to go out and do that, and didn't have to. I chose to because I like the idea that I'm one of the people with the idea that if you don't vote, don't bother bitching. And I want to, if something's wrong with the way the government's working, I want to be able to say my piece about it. So, I reserve my right to complain. Yeah, yeah, I got a delivery coming this week. I did my vote today, and then later on this week, I got to go out and get groceries, and then my brother's going to be coming over on Friday, and it's wait till after 11 o'clock, or just wait till tomorrow. It'll be all over the Detroit news. It'll be like anywhere around the border. It's going to be like earth-shattering news, like what government we have. Yes, voting is super important. It reserves your right to complain about what the government's doing. And if you don't vote, you don't get to complain about what the government's doing. Actually, I remember pretty much any time when I was over at my parents' place and we were watching the news around election time, the results were like on the American news. Like even like New York was talking about our election, Detroit, Boston, and any place close to the border, because most of the Canadian citizens live near the border. So being that we're so close to the border, what our government, what we have as a government, does affect kind of what happens on the other side of the border. So like if you check out CBC News or just even on YouTube, just type in Canadian election results, and you'll have a feed full of Canadian election results. Let me tell you, your page will be full. You can vote electronically ahead of time. Hey, Gordon Freeman, how are you doing? It's been a long time since I've seen you. You can do pre-balloting online. You can do pre-balloting at the polling stations. I just wanted to gain a little bit more information before I went out and voted, so I went out today. I'm thinking I don't think Mark Carney's going to win. It's been 8 years with the Liberal government, and things have gotten so far expensive that it's almost too expensive to live here in Canada. I don't think we can vote by mail. It's like here in my area at the polling station that I had to go to, there was like 7 different registrations at that polling station, and for like 7 different areas of the city that I live in. And then my parents, they live on the other side of the city, so they had to go to a different place, and there's like 8 or 9 in there. Oh yeah. Like hey, if Carney would have been the prime minister for the last 8 years, we'd have had a whole totally different situation going on. I believe that wholeheartedly, because he seems like he's more of a reasonable, rational person, and delving more towards common sense than Trudeau. But at the same time, Trudeau has overspent way too much, and it's gotten to the point where we need to have a government to just start trimming the fat and cutting some things down, so this way here, like we can build our economy back up so that we can actually survive these tariffs that are coming at us. Yeah, we use a pen and paper. You put an X on the line of the party that you want to vote for. You put it in the thing there, and then they feed it into a machine, and the machine scans for a mark, and to check to see if it's if it's an X or if it's just something else. If it's something else, it doesn't count. It has to be an X. Yeah, Trudeau is from the Liberal Party, and they way overspent everything. Yeah, like there's 43 million people in Canada, and if you take out the number of children and unregistered immigrant citizens, or citizens that can't vote because of crime, or they're not registered as voting citizens, then you're probably looking at maybe about 38 million people, maybe 30 million people if you take out all the children not of age. So, and then you have people that just don't bother voting. So you may as well cut that down to 20. Well, I really think he should have held on to his plan until after the election. I think it would have been more effective for the United States because if, um, let's just say, for example, Carney gets in. Carney's already spoken up that he's just going to continue shipping goods that we used to sell to Canada elsewhere and not bother dealing with the United States. Polyev, Pierre Polyev of the Conservative Party, he's claiming that he's going to do the same thing, keep shipping, extra goods and services that we have outside of Canada, but not to the United States. And when it comes right down to it, once we start selling stuff to other countries and they start, building up that economic, rapport with us, it's going to be very hard to set aside anything to run back to the United States and say, okay, we have this much available to trade with you. Like, this whole tariff war, to me, was stupid. It was insane. Because when you anger an economic ally to the point where they start shipping their goods off to somebody else and no longer trading with you, they're not going to cancel those other contracts to come back to get bullied and beat up again. They're going to continue trading with those other people and enjoy the diversity of spreading out the numbers of countries that they're dealing with. Yeah, tariffs benefit nobody. And like Trump was talking about the tariffs as if, they had reached the limit to when the tariffs begin. And if you take a look at the last 30 years of trade with Canada and the United States, there's only been a count of 5 times in recorded history that the United States has purchased more than the cap limit before tariffs start happening. Only 5 times. And when it comes, when you calculate that out, yeah, they had to pay tariffs on steel and aluminum or dairy and milk because they over purchased what we had allotted for them. And that's how our tariffs were worded. And if we have this much, we're willing to trade at cost. Whatever it costs us to produce it, this is what the price is. Whatever, anything over that, you're going to pay an extra amount. American and EU food and beverage are pretty expensive in the Philippines. 50% tax on imports. Yeah. Yeah, like, can you imagine how much it costs to ship it, halfway around the world? Yeah. And I watched a video today about Walmart, like the CEOs of Walmart, Target, and Home Depot all went up to Trump and said, listen, you need to do something about this, or 2 weeks from now, the stock shelves are going to be empty. There is going to be nothing for us to sell, and we're all going to go bankrupt. These are his billionaire buddies coming up to him and telling him, smarten up, dude. You're not helping. Like, he's crashed the market. I have a funny feeling, and this is just my own opinion, okay? My own opinion is that his intention was to crash the market so he could buy stocks at a sale and then levy the tariffs and then watch the freaking prices go back up again. And then he becomes rich again. He becomes even richer. So, no better insider trading than being the one in control of the market. Like, it's just nuts. Like, and we chipped off our carbon tax, and then all of a sudden the price of fuel dropped 18 cents a liter. Now, when you do the math, that's 75 cents a gallon. Okay. Can you imagine what you'd be doing if your fuel costs you 75 cents a gallon less? Like, you'd be going road trip a whole lot more. So, it's just, but like, I don't want to get completely off of politics because it's a topic that you can have one person being angry about a situation, another person being angry that you're not listening to them. It's just a bad topic to talk about. Yeah, the politicians are the ones that did it to us. They basically bent us over and hit us without any lube. Oh yeah, like just within the last, what was it? Since he started messing around with the tariffs, since Trump started messing around with the tariffs, tourism in the United States has lost $2 billion. $2 billion. He's been in office for 3 months. And they're $2 billion down. Like, there's no coming back from that. Like, he's a shrewd business person, but he's not always a smart business person. Like, I don't know about him sometimes. So let's just get off of politics. The weather around here is going up and down. Yeah, it gets people bent out of shape. The weather around here has been going up and down like a zipper. And, oh, man, I can feel it in my back. Like 3 days ago on Friday, it was 85 degrees outside. I was outside in shorts and loving it. Saturday, I was outside. I had my winter coat on. It just, it looks like that bouncing ball when you're doing a sing along. 1 minute you got the heat on, next minute you got the air conditioning on for the afternoon, and you put the heat back on at night. And thankfully, I can do it remote control because of this thing right up here. That one, the white one. But it's this air unit that they put in. The installation, like right from the guys putting in the electricity, like the electricity wires. Those guys are fantastic. Mind you, the apprentice was a bit of an idiot. But, you can't win them all. But the young guy that was the journeyman, it was awesome. He answered all my questions, what he was doing and how he was doing it. And he made it all nice and neat and perfectly level. Mind you, the ceiling isn't perfectly level, but the stuff that he put in, man, you could run a laser, and the laser won't be doing this. Like the stuff that he put in won't be coming down to meet that laser. It's just going to be straight across. And then the two guys that put in the air units, they had to put a duct system over top of my patio door, and that thing is perfectly level. And that would drive me nuts if it wasn't level. Like, believe me. Like what I told myself, I am the only thing I'm really OCD about is when you put something on the wall, it's got to be level. It's got to be perfectly level because I will see it off kilter and it'll drive me nuts. And plug plates, the screws have to be up and down, not side to side, not on an angle, up and down, perpendicular. It has to go this way. And there's a reason why they go this way. So this way here, dust doesn't collect inside that. And when you run your finger down it, you're not going to catch a burr. So, there's a less chance that you're going to get caught on a burr. I mean, it was warm and humid and oh, you're making me jealous, Kieran. You're making me really want to be there, even though I'd really like to be there anyway. 35 degrees Celsius. Like, please bring that here. Welcome. Come. Oh, man. I would love it if it was that temperature all year round. Oh, 34 degrees Celsius. Me, I'd be in shorts, t-shirt, a loose, light t-shirt. I'd be outside with a hat on, baseball hat, just so this way here I can protect my eyes. And I'd be having a field day. This is the season when it gets brutally warm. Yeah, you can even knock that up another 8, 9 degrees, and I'd still be in my element. I'd be like, yeah, bring it on. Let's party. So yeah, I love the heat. I love being warm because sure you can pack more clothes on to be warm, but then you got to do that laundry. 4 loads of laundry a week. Like seriously, in the summertime I do 2 loads a week. Going to Tagastay. Oh, Tagatay. Yeah, I don't know much about the landscape there. Your neighbor was planning on throwing away your doghouse? Like, if it's on your property, he's got no right to do anything. If it's on his property, yeah, you'd be lucky to keep it. But if it's on your property, he can't touch it. Now, if you asked him to come over and take it down and get rid of it, anything that's on your property is considered to be in your possession. And at least that's the way it is here in Canada. If it's on your property, it's considered to be in your possession. And if somebody takes your possession, that's theft. It's against the law. Oh, you're moving or you're going from 34 degrees to go to be at the base of a volcano. Okay. Oh, it was half and half? Well, if you want to keep it, just drag it over onto your side. Yeah. I was talking to a buddy of mine recently. We were talking about Morgan Freeman. and some other actors that we really appreciate. And it was like, the good actors, like the ones that, you know, the ones that do a really good job portraying the roles that they're being paid to portray. And I've always said, I've always loved Morgan Freeman, James Earl Jones, um, uh, Cuba Gooding Jr., Will Smith, uh, the Smog in Manila. um, uh, you know, Actors like that. Like I really appreciate those actors for their ability to portray the roles that they're portraying. And that's what does it for me. It's not about their personal life or what they do behind the scenes. The only thing I care about when I'm watching a movie is what's on the movie. What are they doing on the movie? Yeah, so like I really don't see getting involved in, what the person does in their home life, because that's not my business. My business is I go there to watch what they've done on the screen. And I don't know, I guess I'm kind of old school that way. Um, I'm more of a you know, what's in front of me means the most to me. So uh yeah, I would love to go to the Philippines. But I want to go to places like Dumaguete, um, Lapu-Lapu, Ilio, uh, Darwin, uh, Valencia. I want to check out Manila. I want to check out Quezon City, um, and Cebu. Yeah, I want to, like, when it comes to movies, I want to see the great storytelling, the great, you know, I go to the movies, or I watch a movie or a television show for that matter, to escape the reality of what's going on. It's my form of escapism. And for a lot of people, that's what it's supposed to be, is a form of sit down for an hour and escape going to work at, doing your 9 to 5 or your 7 to 3 or whatever, dealing with, somebody else's rules, somebody else's, having a bad day, so they're taking it out on you for no reason. Sitting down watching a movie or watching a television show, it's to get away from that kind of crap. As soon as I can afford it. As soon as I can afford it. Yeah, if I won the lottery this week, as soon as my passport gets stamped, I'm gone. I don't care if it's summertime here, I'm gone. It's I'll pack my bags while I'm waiting for my passport to get approved. I'll be ready. As soon as they call me up and say, "Here's your passport," right on. Book me a flight now. I want to be airborne by the end of the day. That's when I want to go. Fourth Impact is in California. They brought their father this time, and it's his. I believe. Don't quote me on this, but from everything that I've heard, I believe this is his first time going to the United States. So it's a maiden voyage for him. They are they're hoping to do some shows, do some more recording, whatever. That's what their plan is, to like get into the music scene in California area. I just hope that whoever does the promotions for them promotes them properly and promotes them to a general audience rather than a niche audience. Yeah, I think they don't have a house, but they rent one in California. So oh, nice. I wish I could go with you. That'd be fun. I like Luke Bryan. I never really understood or didn't really know who he was, like other than his, a couple of his songs, until I watched a bunch of YouTube videos about American Idol, and then I found out what kind of a judge he is, and then I watched him actually give his boots to a contestant, and apparently he's one of the nicest people you could ever hope to meet. Oh yeah, dude. If I ever get to go to the Philippines and you're there, we're definitely getting together, and we're going out and having a good time. If I could be their promoter, if I knew or had those kind of connections, to be able to say, get these girls up on that stage as soon as possible to any venue in the United States, Canada, Europe, or wherever, then yeah, I would pick me. I'll do it. I'll promote you the way that you should be promoted, the way that anybody should be promoted, not to a niche audience, but to a general audience. You should be promoting anytime you promote somebody. And I don't get why these promoters promote people to such a small niche audience. It doesn't make any sense, because they get paid on a percentage. Well, I don't know if I'm their number one fan, but I am a fan. But promoters get paid by a percentage of what the venue makes. Okay. So if you only promote to 1% of the population, only 30% of that 1% in that area is going to show up. And 30% is a very big number. That's on a positive scale. On a very on a very liberal scale. On a conservative scale, you might get 10% of that 1% of that population to go to the show. Now, if you take those numbers and you say, okay, I'm going to broaden my reach or broaden my promotion to all American citizens, and you take 10% of that, and then maybe 2% of them go to the show that are in that area, that's still going to be a packed house. When you pack the house, you maximize your profits. These promoters niche down to, oh, you're only Filipino, so you're a Filipino band, so only Filipinos are going to understand your content. Bullshit. They're an internet band. Everybody on the internet can relate to their stuff. So why not relate to everybody around you? Don't niche them down. Expand their reach by giving everybody the opportunity to decide if they want to see something new. It's not so much pop culture stuff. They're being promoted only to Filipino audiences. And if you only promote to Filipino audiences, the Filipino community in like like say Los Angeles, California, you're probably only looking at about 3,000 or 4,000 people. Well, you're going to need everybody to be at the audience, in the audience. Only 10% of those people are probably going to go to the show because they're the only ones who'd be able to afford the tickets. So if you're only going to get 10% of the house packed or filled up, you're only going to sell 10% of the seats. You've wasted your promotion dollars by going that niche. Use your promotion dollars to promote to everybody, give everybody the opportunity. Whatever happened to diversity, inclusion, and equity? Like diversity, equity, and inclusion. Like there's a whole bunch of different cultured people, different ethnical background people who already enjoy Fourth Impact's music. They could be from the Black community, the Arab community, the German community, the Jewish community, the white community, the Filipino community, the Taiwanese community, and so on. Why not open up the promotion to all those communities, because they're already getting they're already getting Fourth Impact's videos on their feed, and they're already watching them. Now you're telling them that by niching down to only Filipino community, you're telling them, oh, you don't deserve to come to this show because you're not part of the Filipino community. Bull crap. It's growing. The Filipino community is growing here in Canada. Like you walk into pretty much any Tim Hortons, grocery store, variety store, and chances are you're going to bump into a Filipino citizen or Filipino OFW, overseas worker. You're going to bump into them on the buses here in the city that I live in. And let me tell you, the Filipinos that I have met here in my area, absolutely lovable people. Like just incredibly lovable people. Like you just want to you just wish it was legal to just go up there and go, oh, I give you a big hug, because you're so pleasant to be around. You bring up the spirits of the people around you. DEI is dead in the United States. Yeah, but the thing about it is, it doesn't, like the DEI, the way it was pushed and prodded and pounded into everything. Yeah, that should die. But when it comes to the core elements of diversity, equity, and inclusion, that just means everybody should have the right to view anything that they want, as long as they are of legal age to view it or consume it. So, what does that do? It doesn't push, we need to have this ethnic group come in and do this. No. If the storyline promotes that particular ethnic group, then put that person in. If the storyline says, okay, this is what the story is, these are what the characters are, go with it. Don't change genders. Don't change the storyteller's vision of the story by changing the characters. Let the artist who put that piece of content together pick and choose who they want to have represent the story. As in, if it's an indigenous person that needs to be in that role, then put an indigenous person in that role. If it's supposed to be a little person that's supposed to be in that role, put a little person in that role. If it's supposed to be an African American person or a black person in that role, then that's the person that should be in that role. If the role was written for that particular ethnic or group of people, then those are the groups of people that should be in those roles, not pick and choose. Oh, well, this is the main character, so we're going to switch this around. To me, that's bullshit. That is just utter and total disrespect to the whole equity or equal and inclusion part. You're disincluding somebody to put in somebody else for them to be included. If their group was not included in the script, don't put them in. Like changing Hitler to a Jewish whatever, when they're going to do the race swap on Hitler, that was dumb. They're going to do the race swap on Cleopatra, dumb. Snow White, yeah, that was just a woke piece of junk. The Snow White movie was such a bomb. The two bombs in 45 that hit Nagasaki and Hiroshima are looking at the bomb that Snow White made in the box office and going, damn, that's bad. like those bombs in Nagasaki and Hiroshima, they were devastating. But that bomb that blew up when it came to the Snow Woke and the 7 Disney Disasters movie, that was catastrophic. That made all the Disney executives and CEOs take a step back and go, what in the hell are we doing with our money? We are burning this shit so fast, it ain't funny. It cost $300 million to make, what, 20? Like, they ripped through a pile of money. And as stupidly as that movie did, to me, I think, in a small way, that movie was the success of the beginning of the end of DEI. To me, DEI means Dale Earnhardt Incorporated. Somebody else came up with a DEI thing there. It was really funny. Yeah, they did that with the female Ghostbusters. And total bomb. DEI does exclude everybody. Oh yeah, it was DEI doesn't equal intelligence. Yeah, doesn't equal intelligence. That's what DEI stands for. Doesn't equal intelligence. Because if you take a look at some of the stuff that these people that are in the DEI space, what they're saying, it's like, smarten up. Macedonian Greek with possible distant Persian and okay. I always thought she was Egyptian. But even back in those days, war brides, they caused the spreading of, the thinning out of the, core gene of, the ethnicity background. Yeah, but a black Cleopatra? No. Cleopatra had straight hair. Yeah, she didn't have. But no, I just don't like the idea of you know taking a character that you know and then ripping it out, ripping that character's basic character premise totally apart and making it something completely stupid. Discriminates against ethnic and indigenous people. Actually, not really, um, because what they're trying to do is put in ethnic and indigenous people in places where Caucasian people were written in. They're trying to reverse racism thing. DEIA. Doesn't include or doesn't equal intelligence association. Like basically, the whole premise behind DEI is to wipe out Caucasians. That's the entire thing. To totally kick white people out of everything. Like I watched a video of Piers Morgan was debating against or was interviewing this lady and debating about her having this black spaces um, uh, show where only black people were allowed to go and watch it. Now, if you want to get your word out about what your people are all about, invite everybody to come and see it. Indigenous as in Caucasian citizen is what happened. Oh, okay. Yeah, like they're these ethnic groups are trying to bring us back to the separation times, the times of separatism, where we had only these kind of people are allowed to use this bathroom, only these kind of people are allowed to use this bathroom, only these kind of people are allowed to use this restaurant, only these kind of people are allowed to go to this restaurant. Like, didn't we fight to abolish that to include everybody? I know the United States did. They had a civil war. Many of their own people died. They killed themselves in trying to include everybody. Oh, but that's not good enough. It's just, why can't these people just, learn from the past like you're supposed to so that you don't make the same mistakes in the future? These people are just enforcing the new mistakes to be made from the past. Oh, they were so bad to us. Now we have the right to be bad to them. No, you don't. We learned from our mistakes. We backed off. As a culture, we backed off and said, okay, we're going to let you guys have the same rights as we have. No more, no less. Now, all of a sudden, we don't even have as many rights as those people. It's nuts. Well, before we get into another big tangent about politics and all that other crap that people are divided amongst, I think I'm going to shut this down and close it down for the night before things get too wild and out of control. I really appreciate everybody for chiming in, engaging in the conversation. I really appreciate everybody for being here. Until we get to the next one, folks, I wish you all peace, love, and happiness.